This morning, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office unveiled the results of a year-long drug investigation. It was called Operation Mechanic, and it was aimed to disrupt and dismantle the drug cartel's trade here in Arizona.
12 News journalist Sean Rice is here after talking to the sheriff today about this. And Sean, a bust like this doesn't happen all the time or overnight.
Yeah, a lot of resources used in this Operation Mechanic investigation, thousands of man hours over a 365-day period. Detectives from MCSO, Surprise, Tempe, Buckeye police departments, all working to get the most dangerous drugs off our streets. Maricopa County Sheriff Jerry Sheridan tells me this operation was aimed at putting high-level cartel executives in jail. The operation resulted in the seizure of thousands of pounds of methamphetamine, hundreds of pounds of cocaine, fentanyl, and so much more. The sheriff's office placed what they seized on tables at their headquarters this morning. It was a lot of drugs, the most I personally have ever seen in my entire life, to include nearly 24 firearms as well, over 500 grand in illegal proceeds in the form of cash. There were resources both federal and state used, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Department of Homeland Security, assisting these local agencies. Sheriff Sheridan tells me this was not an operation that helped track down any sort of dealers. They used wiretaps, listening in on phone conversations between every level of the cartels, and it resulted in the arrest of some of the top in each organization.
It's a lot stronger than most people want to believe, even in Arizona. It's because of our close proximity to Mexico, and the cartels are very strong in Mexico, and so a lot of that bleeds over here. The drug cartel, the drug syndicates, the gangs run their process like a business. Okay, so you have the major wholesalers, you've got the distribution folks, and then you've got the local street vendors that get it out to the people.
The Arizona Attorney General's office says they secured state indictments for 35 people in total, all, according to the sheriff's office, upper echelon members of the cartel. Attorney General Chris Mays says her prosecutors now are committed to holding these drug traffickers accountable in court. Jerry Sheridan also made it a point to say that the drug trade here in Arizona is not a victimless crime. There is often violent crime that is linked directly to the importation and sale of drugs all across our state. This operation, no doubt, helped put a stop to some of that violent crime before it happens. Back to you guys.
Yeah, and you think, Sean, when you're talking about drug cartels, you're thinking about right there near the border or in Mexico. And I actually have a friend who lives down in Rocky Point. He's been down there forever. And I asked her, I said, are you afraid of the cartels down there? And she said, you have almost as much cartel activity in Phoenix as we have down here.
Yeah, and the reason for that was talked about extensively in this morning's press conference. Arizona and the Phoenix metro area is a hub for distribution to other states. It's brought directly across our border. Some of it's tracked right up here to Phoenix, and then is brought to some of the more interior states and then to states all across the East Coast. So, of course, the front line of this effort is law enforcement in our area, and we're seeing the fruits of their labor in this investigation.
All right. Sean, thank you for the report.